All right, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, this is about what, episode 14?
14, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a plan to come on here, and because as everybody knows, Alex is an Ohio State fan.
And
And
Bryce is a Michigan fan. Tough weekend for both of
yep,
us.
Very tough.
yeah, Bryce is a Michigan fan, and we had a plan of just having Bryce and Alex come on here and act all depressed because everybody saw what happened, and well, we thought about it, and the first thing we had to talk about was Damar Hamlin, um, because a human life is more important than any sport. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, we're not gonna sit here and cover it like for a long time because ESPN's been covering it for so many days, and so we do there before the show, we did get an update on Damar, and yeah. And what did do either of you have the update on Damar? I don't have it.
I was going to say, I actually have one pulled up. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I got his foundation pulled up, how much he's at now. His foundation's at $7.2 million at this hour.
That's just crazy. It's just crazy. And
Yeah. And then Instagram, Bills 2022 first round pick Kyer Elam reported that last night Damar opened his eyes and was responsive in his hospital room, and he is fully neurologically intact, according to the Bills medical staff. So he's making a lot of progress, which is good. He's in better shape than a lot of us feared he was going to be in at this point. So it's good to hear.
Praise God for that, honestly.
Yep.
After dying on the field and then doing that, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
yeah, thank God he's all right. But so everybody, we'll get back to Damar in a second. But before I forget, everybody, I mean Bryce, welcome back to Tailgate Talks, and our
Thank you.
new guest, Evan Cianci. Evan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That was the first, and yeah, good thing that we made progress with that. Damar's made progress in trying to get better and everything. So, and I think we might have lost Alex.
I'm good.
No, we're back. All right. So that's that. So hopefully there's more progress and Damar's back on the field as quickly as he can get. But anything else you guys want to add to that?
Not really. Just hope he gets back here soon. Love to see him play in either the semis or if they make it to the Super Bowl. That'd be an awesome time to return.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, God bless. It's, I'm not really a super religious guy or anything like that, but definitely was praying for him and his family. Him being from the community that I was born in. I didn't live there for very long, but I have a lot of family. That's where they all grew up and everything in McKees Rocks. So knowing a guy that's, people in my family went to school with his parents, stuff like that. So it's kind of one of those situations where it's just really kind of like a small world thing, and you just pray the dude's all right. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that he's doing better for sure.
Yeah, and so yeah, but all right, Steelers and Ravens. Kenny Pickett, man. Let's go.
Kenny in the clutch.
Yeah. So, Alex, what do you got on that?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this game, honestly. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about in the first place. Just general stat wise. The Steelers did have a lot more yards than their 16 points would suggest. They had 351 total yards of offense, but they ran for 198 yards, 10 for 16 on third down, super efficient. 6 penalties for 43 yards is more than you'd like, but 34 minutes time of possession and no turnovers is really good. Kenny Pickett clutch in the last drive of the game. 2 weeks in a row now, he has been crazy good on game-winning drives. Najee had a great game, 22 carries, 111 yards. Nothing really to speak of receiving wise. Muth 3 catches for 36, Deontay 2 for 35, Pickens 2 for 29. Not really much to talk about. Minka had the clutch game-sealing interception with like 30 seconds left, and the Steelers now have to beat Cleveland at home this week and then have Buffalo beat New England at home, and the Jets beat Miami on the road for them to make the playoffs. I think plausibly, I think the Steelers they have a good chance of getting it done at home this week, being the home
Yes,
field
they
advantage.
do. Yes, they do. Isn't that
I
right,
do
Evan?
think the Bills will beat the
Hey, man.
Patriots. I do think the Bills will beat the Patriots at home. I think the scariest part is going to be watching that Jets Dolphins game at Miami. So there's a chance. Part of me really hopes they don't make it at this point because I don't want to see a repeat of Pittsburgh at Kansas City last year in the playoffs in the first round of the playoffs. But good game, clutch touchdown pass by Kenny Pickett to Najee with like 45 seconds left or whatever it was. So good for Kenny. He's progressing. Najee's getting in form again. The Steelers O line, even though it needs upgrade, seems to be becoming more cohesive as the season goes along. So good for the Steelers. They're getting hot, and maybe they can, upset I don't know, a Chargers or whoever is the 5 or the 6 seed. If they make it past,
Mhm.
whoever the 2 seed ends up being.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Kenny. Yeah. We've said this so many times. He's progressing, and yeah. And I will say, I almost kind of threw my arm out when he threw that game-winning drive because the second he threw it to Najee, I just stood up and I just went, and I felt like I almost threw my arm out. But yeah, this is I actually got a prediction. I do think the Steelers are going to beat the Browns. Sorry, Evan. But here's the thing. I think they're going to beat the Browns. I think the Jets are going to win. But I think the Patriots will get it done against the Bills.
Interesting.
I'm calling it right now. The one team we're expecting to win is going to lose. I'm calling it
Interesting.
I can see that, but I also see it this way. The Bills are going to come out and try to hammer the Patriots and get to the Super Bowl for tomorrow. They're not just going to roll over and be like, okay, you know what? We can't play anymore. They're going to at least try to play as long as they can so he can get back on the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like the pick though. I mean,
Mhm.
but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what
I
happens.
just think the NFL has been so inconsistent this year as far as how teams play.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So it's definitely going to be a fun one to watch. Doesn't matter the game this week. You know what I mean?
And
Every game is so good.
for sure.
Mhm.
And actually, while we're on this topic, I want to talk about this real quick. This is a really interesting situation, real quick. Depending on what they end up deciding to do with the Bills-Bengals game, if the Bengals win and the Chiefs lose in Week 18 because they'll probably rest starters, all 3 teams are going to be 13-4, and all of a sudden Cincinnati has a tiebreaker over both teams if they win that game. So we're in a spot where since the AFC playoffs could be running through Cincinnati, Ohio this year. That's crazy.
That's
That would
crazy.
be awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
That is crazy. Anything else you guys want to add on to that game?
No.
And Bryce, I was trying to think about what to say about this game, and it was kind of I did laugh when Bryce in the chat last night put boring game, Kenny game-winning drive. That's it.
That's
Pretty
what
much.
it was.
True. It's true. It was boring. I just another real quick thing. I just want him to throw downfield more. That's just my only thing.
Yeah.
So you got to do that. But all right, Steelers Browns this week. This is gonna be interesting. Real quick, Evan. What are your overall thoughts on the season? Obviously, everybody knows what happened with Deshaun Watson. It's no secret. But yeah, just give me your overall thoughts of how you think the season's gone this year for the Browns.
I think overall, as far as our all-around team goes, I think we're set. Besides D tackles, we need to get a good D tackle in the draft with our first pick, I think. But as far as weapons goes, I think Deshaun Watson next year will come into the season after working with Amari Cooper, after working with Donovan Peoples-Jones and everyone. He'll come to the season ready to throw the ball like he has at Texans. But that's what I'm looking for mostly. Running the ball too. We have Nick Chubb. We're a running team. We got to look to do that too. But against the Steelers this weekend, we have to play a full game. Last week, we played a half a game, and we almost lost to Carson Wentz, and he threw 3 picks. You know, it's stuff like that. That's just classic Browns gameplay, and we have to play a full game because the Steelers are good. Steelers can be good. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking right now. Put the ball on the ground, healthy mix, throw the ball. Amari Cooper's been playing great, so that's what I think so far. But we got a lot of work to do this off season. That's what I'm saying. We got to build some chemistry.
Right. And that's definitely the thing I think the Browns need to do to win is run the ball because the Steelers' run defense is atrocious.
Yeah, and
It is atrocious.
in past games, when Nick Chubb has had over 20 carries, we've won each game.
Yeah, run the
And-
ball.
Exactly, man. And it's hard to do that when we have a pass game coordinator as our head coach.
Right. But yeah. So, and for the Steelers, Alex, what do you and Bryce too? You can chime in too. What do you guys think they got to do to beat the Browns? I mean, I do think they got a third down field, but like, what do you think is like the overall thing the Steelers really need to focus on and do against the Browns?
I think they have to copy the formula they used against the Raiders and paste it on top of the Browns game. They have handled the league's leading rusher well. I want to say they held Josh Jacobs to like 50 rushing yards on like 12 or 15 attempts on primetime Christmas Eve. So if the front seven can show up the way they did against Vegas a couple weeks ago and shut down Nick Chubb and make Deshaun Watson, who it's crazy to think that right now you want Deshaun Watson to have to throw the ball because 3 years ago you'd be terrified of Deshaun Watson throwing the football. But now, at least as it currently stands, you want Deshaun to have to throw the football. He hasn't done it well this season since he's come back from his suspension. So I think handle Nick Chubb and try and throw down the field as much as you can. Denzel Ward's probably going to be on Deontay, even though he should be on George Pickens. So, you know, you're gonna have some chances. I don't know how the Browns have done against tight ends this year or anything like that, but I think there's a chance we can stretch the field this week against the Browns defense if we can do it right.
Right, 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I agree with everything with that. I think when you're in this position where you can make the playoffs, I mean, obviously stipulations to get in, but you have to win your game first for everything else to happen. So you can't just stick to the normals like they normally do, just run the ball and then we'll just throw a couple outs. You have to open up the playbook a little bit, like run a reverse or two, do like a flea flicker. You got to try to figure something out to try to get points in different ways. You can't just settle for normalness.
Creativity matters in this game. Can I say
Exactly.
something, Mikey?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So I think the recipe for the Steelers to be very successful in this game is to give Najee the ball. I'm not going to lie. On the Browns, defensive tackle, linebackers are very biggest weaknesses right now. We are terrible against the run game. It's like there's just a hole in the middle of the field. We cannot stop rush games. Now, passing is a different story. We could stop that, but I think you guys need to put the ball on the ground and run it right up our throat. You know what I mean? There's going to be opportunities.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely helps that the Steelers got a running quarterback that likes to use his legs and Kenny Pickett. So, yeah,
sure.
I agree. Keep the ball on the ground, and we'll see what happens. But all right, rapid fire time, my favorite segment. All right, so Saturday, the Chiefs at the Raiders. Who do you think?
The Chiefs are going to win with their backups.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. The
Agreed.
Chiefs are winning with their backups.
Yeah.
I could see that too. I mean, I don't think whatever the Raiders quarterback has even a chance. I mean, I can see it being a field goal game, but I don't think they win.
What's that quarterback's name?
Stidham or something like
Jarrett
that.
Stidham.
I thought it was Stidham.
Auburn. One of 2 quarterbacks to throw for 3 touchdowns against the Niners defense this year.
That's so.
The other one was Patrick Mahomes.
Titans at Jaguars. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars.
I agree.
And I'm gonna tell you why. You'll understand
Prince.
why later. You'll understand why later.
Yeah, we'll go Jags there too.
Evan, Alex.
Yep, Crown Prince.
Jags, without a doubt.
Jags are winning the division this year.
They got momentum.
They do.
Buccaneers at Falcons. I'm gonna go Falcons because the Falcons are gonna come out for blood after what happened last time.
Yeah, we've been saying this all season since the roughing the passer call, haven't we?
Yep, I'm going Falcons.
Depending on how Tom Brady does, I would say.
I think the Bucks might rest starters. I know they said they won't, but they're kind of dumb if they don't.
Yeah.
They need to be healthy. Of all teams, they are not good enough to just not be healthy.
I still think the Bucks will win. I think Brady is going to play the first half, throw 2 touchdowns, 250 yards in the first half, and put it away in the first half.
There you
go. Okay. I know I said with the Steelers playoff chances, I said watch the Bills lose, but in reality, for the Patriots and Bills, I'm still going to go with the Bills because Bryce was right. They're going to be playing for DeMar, so I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Me too.
Yeah.
And who knows who's going to play or not, because some players may not be ready to go back on the field too. You don't know that.
Too.
So is that Vikings at Bears? Vikings.
Yep.
Vikings.
Yeah. They don't. Justin Fields is out. That doesn't help.
Justin Fields is out.
Yes, but Nathan frickin' Peterman is starting.
Yeah, give me the Vikings by a million.
By a million.
By an absolute million.
Yeah.
Nathan Peterman, dude.
Nathan frickin' Peterman. I almost said the other F word. Excuse me. Ravens at Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Bengals, but I don't know. I don't know. That one actually I don't know.
The Bengals are gonna be playing for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I think because of what happened to Damar Hamlin against the Bengals, like for T. Higgins as example, he's probably not. I mean, I hope he realizes it's not his fault, but he's probably not in the right headspace. Some of those guys are still going to be like, okay, this is just too surreal. I think it'll be close, but I agree. I think the Bengals they want the 1 seed.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say this real quick. If you're one of the people that are blaming T. Higgins, like, screw you. It's not his fault.
Literally.
It was cardiac arrest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody caused that. You could clearly tell. It was just it just happened. So screw you if you think that, and also screw Skip Bayless. I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Well, the technical term for what happened, whenever they release it, it's like commotio cordis.
Yeah, commotio cordo.
Whatever it's called. I knew something like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Texans at Colts. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Colts because isn't Sam Ehlinger gonna play?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts. I'm gonna
go for they tie the second time this year.
You're determined to get a tie right.
I'm not even kidding. They're tying for a second time this year. I don't care.
I'm gonna go Texans here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing tough. Colts are kind of eh.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's not in there. If Jonathan Taylor's there, maybe it's a little different, maybe a point different, but I don't know. Texans, they just beat somebody last week. Didn't they?
Who did they beat?
Or no, they beat somebody a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they beat the Titans, who were kind of bad, but still.
Yeah.
I think it could go either way. I mean, Jeff Saturday's not a head coach.
No.
But also the Texans are really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to tell. But if Sam Ehlinger plays good, I mean, I'll take the Colts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts. All right, Jets at Dolphins. Ooh. Now we're gonna have to speed this up a bit, but this one we can get a little. Think about this for a second. If you guys are ready,
the Dolphins playing Blaine Gabbert or something?
Oh, if they are, then I'm going Jets.
Tua's got a concussion. Teddy's got a fractured pinky or something like that. So I'm pretty sure they picked up
or he's questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they picked up Blaine Gabbert or something like that. I can try and check right now, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Mike White legacy game for the Jets.
Yeah.
Evan?
I'm gonna go Jets. I'm a big Mike White fan. I'm a big Robert Saleh fan.
Me too. I'm a big Saleh fan.
One of the best head coaches in the league. He's got a good team. Best draft of this past year. for them. So I think they got it going now and in the future. They got momentum, so I'm thinking Jets.
All right, so we're have to go a little rapid fire here. Panthers at Saints. I'm gonna go Panthers.
Me too.
Panthers.
I'm gonna take the Saints.
All right, this next one I'm gonna predict what all y'all are gonna predict. All right, Steelers. Bryce Steelers. Alex Steelers. Evan Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got it. I think I got that right there.
Yep.
I think we might have lost Alex again. Oh no, Alex.
No, I'm here.
All right. Did I get your prediction right, Alex? Steelers.
Huh?
No, I said. Bryce is gonna pick Steelers. Alex is gonna pick Steelers. Evan's gonna pick Browns. I'm gonna pick Steelers. Did I get that right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Now I know what Alex is gonna pick for this next one. I predict Alex is gonna pick the Chargers over the Broncos.
But wait a second. The Broncos are favored.
Nope, don't care.
How?
I don't care. I'm not picking the
care.
Broncos ever again.
You know what? I'll take it for you then. I'm picking the Broncos.
The Broncos
Oh,
were
you
favored
could
by
pick
like
it.
2 scores against the Rams, and they lost 51-14.
Mhm.
I'll take the Broncos just because I don't care. That's it.
Evan.
I can't go against my boy Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
Nope.
Herbert is
He's an
definitely
absolute
an
animal.
quarterback.
One
Sorry,
of the
what'd you
best quarterbacks, can sling it down the field by
Mhm.
not even moving his arm, it feels like. Dude's an animal.
Seriously.
Giants at Eagles. Did the Eagles lock up the number 1 seed yet?
Not yet.
This week
Alright,
they
I'm going-
can.
All right, I'm gonna go Eagles.
Me too. Jalen Hurts is going to be back. Like 90% chance Jalen Hurts is going to be back. So
Okay. Cardinals at 49ers. I'm gonna go 49ers, but I would not be surprised if the Cardinals won because of David freaking Blau.
I love my boy Dave, but I think the 49ers are going to go over the spread. I think they're going to win by more than 14.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now. 1 second. I know we don't have much time for this, but if this man was starting, there'd be no question.
Yeah.
Trace McSorley starts, the Cardinals win by 40.
Oh,
Go Trace.
what a guy.
I'm just kidding. I'm picking the Niners. There ain't no way.
I got 9 for this one.
The Cardinals are a mess. Rams.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Froze. Oh no.
All right. For sake of time, I got this one. Rams at Seahawks.
Seahawks. They're playing for a wild card.
Seahawks.
I think Mikey would go Seahawks too, I believe.
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah.
don't know exactly. Next one is Cowboys at Commanders.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
There's a small chance they can get the division if they win this week. So
Yeah, I can agree with that, Cowboys. And then our last one, the Sunday night special. One of the two is going to the playoffs. Lions, Packers.
I hope it's Lions.
I hope it's the Lions too.
me too, but I think the Packers are going to win. I think A-Rod gets in. This is exactly what happened when A-Rod won the Super Bowl against the Steelers. He's back.
We move forward with the last couple games just for sake of time.
Okay, I pray that this recorded what you guys were saying. I still got the red light, so we might be good. I had to switch to my hotspot, so I'm gonna have to plug in my phone here. But all right, so how far did you guys get into while
We
I
got
was
to the
gone?
end. We're on the Sunday
Oh, you got
night
to the
game.
end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for mine, I'm gonna go Seahawks, Cowboys, and I'm gonna go Lions.
Yeah, we're all taking Lions.
We're all on the same page.
Alex, you took Green Bay, right?
Campbell masterclass.
I didn't take A-Rod. I did take A-Rod in the Packers, but I can see it
If
going either way.
A-Rod, if A-Rod has a good game, man, it's going to be hard for the Lions. But he's been very inconsistent as well.
Yeah. Also, real quick to correct myself, the Dolphins added Mike Glennon to their practice squad, not Blaine Gabbert. So that will be their probable starter if Teddy Bridgewater's not healthy.
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon.
The GOAT.
Okay,
The GOAT
we
that's
really
not
gotta
David
move on. All right, draft time. Here we go. So I told everybody that this is all you. I mean, I could sit this one out. So this is how we're gonna do this. Evan is gonna give his Browns predictions, who he thinks the Browns are gonna pick. Bryce will do it for the Steelers. And Alex, are you gonna be doing the top 10 for the draft, do you think?
I'll do, depending on how long each of them take, I'll do top 10, maybe like the first half. Maybe I'll do the first 16 or something like that. 15 actually, because the Dolphins are dumb, but
yeah,
whatever.
I mean, do whichever you got to do. All I got to say is that we may have went 5 minutes over with the rapid fire, but it's all right. It's all right. We're good.
Sorry,
We're good. We're good. We're good. All right, so take it away, fellas.
All right. So Browns draft. Here we go. So we've traded all of our picks away, of course, as you all probably know. So our first pick is round 243. And our biggest need right now is defensive tackle. So I took Elijah Cianci out of Pittsburgh, defensive tackle.
Whoa. Wait.
Oh, yeah, because Siaki Ika probably won't even be there either out of Baylor. He'll probably be gone.
He'll be gone.
The reason I'm taking Cianci,
yeah,
for the first pick. You are coming back on. Hail Pitt.
I'm taking Elijah Cianci because I think he's going to be Aaron Donald 2.0. Little bit undersized. It's okay though. He's got a lot of weight to him. He is around 285 pounds. He's literally a spitting image of what Aaron Donald is like.
Mm-hmm.
Can maneuver around defenders. He's quick and he can beat double teams. With the next pick, so we have a big jump here. Once again, we traded all of our stupid picks away. Our next pick is round 4, pick 107. We can't stop any run. Doesn't matter what the team it is. So I took linebacker Noah Sewell out of Oregon.
Oh, you think he's going to fall to the 4th? That's a big drop.
I think he is a little bit oversized for his position, but he's someone that's strong and would be able to muscle around anyone to get a tackle. So I think that would be a great pick for us. I think he's going to drop. And in any mock draft I have seen, he's dropped to round 4 or so. So I think that's a realistic pick. Next one we have is pretty close after that, round 4, 125. I have Tuli Tuipulotu.
Oh, yeah.
Edge out of USC. Now, we have Jadeveon Clowney this year. We're probably not going to sign him back. Too much money. So we need someone opposite of Myles Garrett to be able to, take some of the focus off of him. I think he'd be good. What I have is that he's Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, and he has 12.5 sacks. So I think he's just a good option for a later pick in the draft. Next pick would be round 5, pick 139. And I have us picking wide receiver Cedric Tillman out of Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay.
I will say there's, you never have enough receivers. That's what I'm going to say. He's 6'4", 216 pounds.
He's a big guy.
Big guy. He's lanky. He can get up and grab the ball if we, throw it high. We don't have any size on our team right now, so I think he'd be good. He'd be like a Chase Claypool for us, maybe. Next pick is round 6, pick 171. I have tackle Carter Warren out of Pittsburgh. Hot take for this right here. I think the Browns need to get rid of our tackle we have right now, Jedrick Wills.
Whoa.
I think he is really good. He's good when he's healthy. He's very prone to injury. He holds a lot. Seems like we get a flag every play with him. I'm not the biggest fan of him. So I think it'd be good to add depth, draft him. We got James Hudson that can start. If Carter Warren ends up being better, maybe he can step in there and take over the role. So that's what I have for that. And then our last pick is round 7, pick 209. I have guard Emil Ikior Jr. out of Alabama. I think it's a good late round pick. Right now, we have 2 all-pro guards, Wyatt Teller, Joel Bitonio. We don't really need anyone right now. We got depth to it, but they're old. And they can also get injured. So I think it'd just be good to have someone that's young, get him going in the NFL a little bit, get him some reps, see how he plays. If he plays good, good for us. So that's my draft. Hope you guys enjoy it.
All right.
I liked it. All right,
That's
Bryce.
a good job. All right.
You better watch it.
Obviously, the Steelers don't need a quarterback unless it's a late round backup. They don't need a running back because both of theirs are doing okay. Although my very last pick is a running back. Wide receiver help is Tight end, you have 2 young ones. You have Muth and Zach Gentry. All right.
You good. Plus Connor Hayward too. I think he can be big.
Very true. Offensive line needs help. Defense needs help. That's all it is. I mean, if you want to draft a wide receiver, I don't know. If you want to draft a tight end, I mean, I don't know. The Steelers are going to Steeler. So either way. But
I see what you did there.
first overall pick, in my opinion. I think, now this is going to be very hurtful to somebody in here. And I don't want it to be that way. But I think you look at all the duos around the league. You got Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, worked out. You got Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, and it worked out. So, with that being said, I think if Jordan Addison is still in the first round there, Steelers are going to take him. If him and Kenny Pickett are still on the same wavelength, which I don't know. But if Jordan Addison's not there,
Well,
they're going with Joey Porter Jr.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting decision.
Joey Porter, I believe, if I'm not wrong, his dad played for the Steelers. He was pretty good.
He was a linebackers coach.
Yep. Or not played coach, you know what I mean. But I think he would be a good pickup. He can come up, make tackles. He can also cover. He's a pretty stout guy. Or, sorry, I have 3 stipulations for this first pick. I think you go either of the 3 ways. I want Joey Porter Jr., but I can see they need a lineman. As much as this one also hurts me to say this, I think if Harris Johnson Jr. is still there, which I doubt he will be, go him. So I don't know. Steelers are, like I said, the Steelers are going to Steelers. So whatever they think is more needed. I mean, who knows? They could go Anthony Richardson in the first round. Like, seriously, it could go anywhere. They could draft a kicker. But I think first round, you got to go one of the main ones. You got to go offensive tackle, wide receiver, if there's a good one there, or defensive back. After that, I didn't know what I felt. I didn't know what I wanted to go. But I ended up deciding that they're going to take, for sure, in the second round, they're going to take an offensive tackle if they don't get one in the first round. And I think that's going to be Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. He is, hold on, I have him pulled up on here. He is a 6'5", 315-pound offensive tackle. He's consistent on his feet, pretty good with run and pass. I mean, Steelers just need to lock up a left tackle that's stout. Seems like that's where they always get beat. I don't know which picks they have. I didn't look into that. I'm just going with what I think in order they should go. I know they have a first round, either somewhere between 20 and 15, depending on how this week goes. And then they have one from the Bears in the second round. I think it's in the very beginning. So that's why I took the 4th overall O tackle. After that, it's kind of really just like a toss-up who they're going to go with. I mean, could they use another edge rusher? I think so, because whenever TJ Watt's not there, you see how far down they go. I mean, they did not play good without TJ Watt. So maybe take a chance on Nolan Smith from Georgia. I mean, he's pretty stout edge rusher.
I like him.
Big dude. And he plays for the Dogs, so of course he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, dude, under Kirby.
So this 3rd round pick, it's from a site that did the mock draft. I've watched him play all year, and I don't know. I don't see it. It says that they think the third round, they're going to take Mozzie Smith out of Michigan. I don't know how much I like that. I mean, he made a couple plays this year. Wasn't awesome though. He and who knows what's going to happen because he has a gun possession charge that's going to be going to court here soon. So who knows if he's going to go to jail or whatnot. You don't know. But he could also that could also be swapped out. It doesn't have to be Mozzie Smith. I'd like it to be because then I could root for him. But I also wouldn't mind if they took Colby Wooden from Auburn. Dude, 6'5", 284. He is quick at that height. He's pretty quick. Fourth round, I think they're going to go back to offensive tackle, try to load up on offensive tackles to try to see who's going to work and who's not. I think in that round, this is where it gets tough. I was in a toss-up between these couple guys. I didn't know which one I wanted, which one I thought would fit better. But in the end, I went with I'm still at a toss-up, guys. I don't know. This is tough. I'll stick with my guy. I'll go with Jackson Kirkland from Washington. Well, he pretty much I would say pretty much, but off Washington, I think they finished 11-2 this year.
Something like that.
They did really well this year. And, you have a good offensive line. Chances are you're going to be able to run the ball and pass the ball. And the one game I watched them play, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Kansas State. Washington did really, really well on the ground. I can't remember if that's exactly who it was, but I believe that's who it was. Then we go to the 7th round, and this is where it gets kind of like, So I'll give 2 more picks because you don't know who's going to be on the board, what's going to go, what's not. 7th round, I feel that, I'd like the backup quarterback, but we have so many, so maybe you don't go that route. I'm going to go with a running back here. I think Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State is going to fall to the 6th or 7th round. Okay. And I think the Steelers are going to pick up Deuce Vaughn.
All right.
I like that pick. He's kind of small. He's like a Jalen Warren type, but the guy runs fast. He is quick. After that, obviously this is just my opinion, what I think. And like I said, they need defense, and I really didn't highlight much defense. But I also think, I think Devin Bush's contract's up after this year.
They ain't going to resign him. They are not going to resign Devin Bush. I can tell you that right now. I'm calling that right now.
Exactly. I don't think they'll resign him. And there's not there's some good linebackers in the draft in the first 15. But after the first 15, it gets kind of, it gets kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be, I think if I'm Pittsburgh, I'd try to get my linebacker early if I'm going to take one. I wouldn't wait too long because if you wait till the 6th or 7th round, then again, Tom Brady was a late round pick and he was good. You'll have that, but the one that highlights to me, Stephon Thompson from Syracuse, he's a 6'1" linebacker. It's kind of like Devin Bush. I think he's only 6 foot, something like that. I don't know. I think I really don't know what the Steelers are going to go with because every year it gets different. It really does.
Just have to wait and see, man.
Exactly. But like we said, defense, offensive tackles.
Yep. Good draft.
And then maybe a late round running back or wide receiver or whatever. You don't know with the Steelers. It always is different.
Yep. Right. All right, Alex, what do you got?
All right, time to play Mel Kiper. I'm going to share my screen real quick. We're going to do this quick.
All right.
We're going to go ahead and do this. And all right, can you guys see my screen? Is this all?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so starting, I think this one's pretty obvious. I think Bryce Young is a bona fide first overall pick at this point. I just don't see how this changes anything whatsoever. Texans severely need a quarterback. That is not Davis Mills, so that's the direction they go. Chicago Bears are not moving on from Justin Fields. It is way too early for that to happen. So Will Anderson Jr. comes off the board exactly where he's expected to. By the way, this is the NFL mock draft database, so this is all projected values for picks. So I'm just kind of going based off of my opinion combined with where these players are projected in value. Number 3, Seahawks drastically need defense bad. They're going to roll with Geno for another year, in my opinion, at least. So Jalen Carter, Bryce was talking about it. These dogs, D linemen, are elite. They play very good football, and they are very good in the pros. And then 4th overall, Arizona Cardinals also badly need defense. It's just Miles Murphy is a very good prospect, highly touted, plays for Power 5 program. Again, pretty straightforward. Number 5, the Indianapolis Jeff Saturdays will take, in my opinion, at this point in the season, CJ Stroud.
You think?
At one point, when Carolina was picking at 2 or 3 and Vegas was up there, I thought CJ Stroud might be a Panther or maybe even a Raider, but I don't see it happening now. I don't know what the deal is going to be with the Raiders this offseason, but that's where I think CJ Stroud goes. Number 6, I think Jeff Okudah is a very good potential corner in the NFL, but the Lions really just need more star power on the defense. They've severely underperformed this year. So Keely Ringo, the far and away best corner in this draft class, will go number 6 overall to the Lions. Number 7, another team, again, another year where it just seems like every NFL team needs a godforsaken edge rusher. I'm not a whole lot familiar with a lot of these guys in this draft class, yet the season's not even over yet, so I haven't had the chance to analyze a lot of these players, but Falcons need edge rusher. Tyree Wilson's there. You take him. Number 8, another team that needs defensive linemen. You got Max Crosby rushing the edge, so you don't necessarily need an edge rusher. Brian Breesy is a great choice does anyone even know a single Raiders defensive tackle? I don't. Cleveland Farrell. There you go. That's the one I can name. Garbage. So inside defensive lineman makes sense for Vegas here. I did think about them taking a quarterback, but I just don't think it's time yet. I don't think they're ready. Number 9, I think Will Levis is going to be. I've talked about this with a couple of my friends. I think Will Levis is this year's Zach Wilson. He is going to get overhyped almost purely because of his arm strength. He's going to make some crazy pro day throw, and everybody's just going to fall in love with him for no reason besides the fact that he can launch a football like nothing.
I can see that.
I do think Will Levis is better than Zach Wilson. He played in the SEC at Kentucky, so he had some serious competition. He's played some good football teams, so I think he is a better shot at being a good NFL quarterback than Zach Wilson. So I think the Panthers take a shot on him at number 9. Number 10, Philly, you've got 2 old corners. You got James Bradbury and you've got Darius Slay. They're not going to be in their, they're already pretty much coming out of their primes at this point, both in their late 20s, maybe early 30s. I can't really remember exactly. So a guy I'm not super familiar with, but again, touted very highly. Christian Gonzalez goes 10th overall out of Oregon to the Philadelphia Eagles. Then number 11, I think Mike likes this one here. Titans. I don't know that Treylon Burks is going to be a bad receiver, but I don't know that he's going to be a great one either. I think if you're the Titans, man. I think they need offensive talent. I really think they do. Jordan Addison goes number 11 overall. Then 12 overall, another team that severely needs receiving talent in the AFC South. Jackson Smith and Jigba goes out of Ohio State to Houston. And then 13, the New York Jets will take Paris Johnson Jr., who is now the best offensive tackle in the 2023 NFL draft class, has played extremely well throughout his entire career at Ohio State, especially over the past year or two. 14, Washington, again, just another team that really needs defense. A lot of teams do. So Cam Smith, the South Carolina corner, makes a lot of sense. Position of need, solid player from what I understand. So it's a pick that makes sense. 15, Pittsburgh Steelers. Peter Skoronski, again, just makes sense. They need offensive tackle bad. To me, far and away, the most needed position on this roster right now is left tackle. It's just the most glaringly bad position. I'd rather take the current Steelers secondary room over the current Steelers offensive line room any day of the week. And then just doing the top half of the draft today, final pick, Green Bay picking at 16, will take Quentin Johnston, the receiver that had a massive 76-yard touchdown on like a drag route against Michigan in the semifinal game on New Year's Eve. So he's great. He was arguably the best receiver in the draft at one point, but not now at this point. Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. There's just some other guys that I think are a little more talented. and have a little bit better of a rapport in the NCAA. So that rounds out my top 16. I will maybe hit on 5 of these. I'll probably do another 20 mock drafts up until the point of the actual NFL draft. So that concludes my Mel Kiper section for today's video.
Well, Alex, so everybody knows we are now on Spotify now.
Yes.
You could. This is up to you, Alex. If you want to do a quick little thing, send me the stuff of you just reading off your draft predictions, and we can put it on Spotify. You can do that if you want to make it a Spotify exclusive. That's up to you. We can figure that
Definitely
out.
possible. I think that would be a good idea. Maybe I'll put that together at some point.
All right, so I'm gonna make this quick since like we're gonna want to talk about the college football playoffs. I'll talk about Pitt first real quick. I won't take that long. And so Pitt, Nick Patty Masterclass. Yep.
What was it, 38-37 or something like that?
37-35.
That's
so
what it
Nick,
was, yeah.
Yep. Nick, I wrote it down in my notes. Nick flipping Patty, 20 for 41, 224 yards. Ronnie Hammond got 25 carries, 93 yards. But Nick Patty ran the ball 10 times for 72 yards. Let's go.
Didn't even complete half of his passes.
Yeah. And Bub Means got the ball 4 times, 84 yards, and Camonte Mumfield's got the balls 7 times and then 78 yards. Ben Sauls was 5 for 5 in field goals, so that is great. Good for Pitt. It was good. Pitt, all sports. Pitt playing well right now because then that's going to lead me into Pitt basketball because Pitt basketball is back.
Mikey, I don't want you to forget that in the early stages of the season, Michigan beat Pitt by 31.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna put that out.
Hey, I'm not saying anything about Pitt. They're actually in my bold prediction.
Oh, I know what that is. But Blake Henson, 16 points, and since Evan, you don't know much about Pitt basketball that much, there is a guy on the team named Federico.
Oh my God!
8 points.
Yeah.
8 points. Jamaris Burton, 15 points, and they took down number 11 Virginia. And if they beat Clemson on Saturday, they're probably gonna be ranked. They're probably gonna be ranked.
They should be ranked this week.
Yeah, they should be because they beat number 25 UNC. So yeah, that's my quick Pitt talk. Good for Pitt. I'm happy. I'm happy with Pitt right now. But so that's my Pitt talk. But all right, very quickly because I know Alex and Bryce is not going to want to talk about this very long. The college football playoffs. I will say both games were excellent.
Yeah, you're right. Games were excellent. I'll keep Michigan TCU sweet, short. I'll mention Michigan basketball. Seems like they're back, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, football. I mean, you turn the ball over 4 times, you're not going to win many games, especially when 2 of those are for 14 points. Play calling was mid. Actually, it was below mid. It was terrible. We've never ran a reverse on the 1 yard line when it's 4th and goal.
Bryce, what do you think about that Philly special?
Stupid, absolutely stupid. You've been a power running football team all year. Punch it in with your running back, like most teams would. Whatever. I mean, I almost expected at this point. Jim Harbaugh hasn't won a bowl game in 6 years. It's very frustrating. But back to the game. JJ did not do great with turnovers, but he also was the person that had us in that game. So I don't know how you want to look at that. It's kind of, I guess some of it can fall on him. Most of it falls on coaching. But then defense, I can't remember the last time we gave up 51 points on defense. I think it was 2018 to Ohio State when they put up 63. I think that was the last time they put up anybody put up more than 50 on us. But we'll see how next year goes. I'm not happy with how it ended. I think Corum's coming back. I think he'll come back, but
that'd be a good question.
Good game. Very sad to see it end that way. Last thing I'm going to mention, it was definitely a touchdown. It was definitely targeting, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Because if I start talking about it, I won't stop.
Good wrap.
Yeah. And so, Alex, man.
I think CJ Stroud probably played the best game of his career this past weekend.
Yep.
In Atlanta against the number 1 dogs. You're leading 41-28 in the fourth quarter. Jim Knowles, you got to do better. You can't allow a 75-yard game-winning touchdown drive. And this isn't all Jim Knowles' fault. I don't know what the play calling was on the last 3 plays of the game before the Noah Ruggles field goal attempt, but it was horrible. The play call, we had timeouts. We were in plenty good position to get in field goal range, and the play calling was absolutely atrocious once we got past midfield. We absolutely should have been able to get closer than a 50-yard field goal to win that game. It's not Noah Ruggles' fault. I saw the picture, the comparison between his 48-yarder that he made and the 50-yarder that he missed at the end of the game. Obviously, he overstepped because he was trying to get as much into it as he could to make sure it went down the pipe. It had plenty of leg, and he just stepped too far in and hooked it left. CJ Stroud went, 23 for 34 for 348, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. You can't ask for a better game than that from your quarterback. Your entire team, actually, you went +1 in the turnover differential, and you lost. Granted, Dallin Hayden only had 43 rushing yards, and Stroud was their second leading rusher with 34. I didn't really expect anything less. The Dogs, if there's anything these SEC football teams can do, it's stop the run. So, CJ Stroud had a chance to potentially have a easier national championship. I would have paid a lot of money to see Ohio State and Michigan rematch in the national championship this year, but it just wasn't in the card for either team this year. So there's always next year. I think Kyle
Mikey,
McCord is a great quarterback.
real quick.
So.
Real quick. One of Michigan's wide receivers is in the portal. Just this morning, he got an offer from Pitt. He originally got offered to Pitt. Make it happen. Andrew Anthony to Pitt.
That'd be sick.
Okay.
Interesting.
How happy would you be?
I would love it. Absolutely love it. I wanted McNamara to go to Pitt. I hope he goes to Pitt. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But all right. So for our last segment, we got a good amount of time. We got about 9 minutes. We're in good shape. Bold predictions for 2023. So the way we'll do it is I will say one, and then we'll go to Alex, then we'll go to Bryce, then we'll go to Evan, and then back to me. All good?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. My first bold prediction. The Jacksonville Jaguars will go to the AFC Championship. That is my first bold prediction.
Perfect segue. Mine is that Trevor Lawrence.
We lost
The
Alex.
2023 season.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're good. Good. Sorry. Say that again, Alex. We lost you for a second.
Perfect segue. My first bold prediction is that Trevor Lawrence, the prince who was promised, will be top 3 in MVP voting next season.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like it.
My bold prediction is not NFL. It's college basketball because that is my favorite. I think the Pitt Panthers make it into the tournament as a 8 to 11 seed, and they go to the Sweet 16.
I love it. I freaking love it. I love it.
Just
I'm outside. I had to run somewhere.
They play well against the better teams. You get them against the teams that aren't as good. They struggle a little bit, but they play at a higher level than the higher level teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think it happens.
I did not just pull a hammy there. All right, Evan.
All right. So my first bold prediction. Of course, I got to go talk about my Brownies a little bit.
Okay. All right.
I think we're going to fire our defensive coordinator, Joe Woods. We're going to do a little searching. We're going to interview a lot of people. What I want to see, I want to see Brian Flores run our defense.
Ooh.
That's what I want.
Okay.
That is my biggest bold prediction for 2023. He was fired way too early at Miami. Defensive-minded coach. I like the way he thinks. I think he'd fit well in with our defense. Personable guy, and I would just be really excited if that happened.
Okay. I like it. All right, my second one. This is gonna shock you guys. So there's always these talks because let's be real, Mac Jones is not going to be the Patriots quarterback next year. I'm calling it right now. That's not my bold prediction, but he's not going to be the Patriots quarterback. There's a lot of names going around of who could be the next QB. The name I'm going to pick, Tom Brady. I predict Tom Brady for his final season goes back to New England.
Oh God.
There we go.
I think that's realistic. I could see him doing that.
Yeah, but like here's the thing though, the way he left in the first place, there's some. I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bold prediction number 2. This is technically 2023 because we were in 2023. But my second bold prediction is that the winner of Tampa versus Dallas will play in the NFC title game this year.
Ooh, okay.
Because the winner of that game will play Minnesota. And I think Minnesota is much prods. So the winner of Dallas, Tampa will beat Minnesota to go to the NFC title game against either the Eagles or 49ers.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna say next year because it's still just the normal playoffs for college football. I think that you're gonna see a crazy playoffs next year. You're not gonna have. I don't think you're gonna. Now sit tight with me here. I don't think you'll have Georgia in there. I don't know why. I just feel like they have built a dynasty, but just like Clemson, the one year that everybody thought they were gonna make it, they didn't.
Okay.
So I think you're going to have a weird playoff next year. I could see it being Texas.
Yeah.
Maybe a Penn State sneaks in. Couple upsets over Michigan or Ohio State. They sneak in. I could just see a very weird college football playoffs next year. You don't have the blue bloods that are normally in there. I could see it happening next year. I think Texas is a good pool for that. I think Texas might make the national championship next year.
So I have 2. I'm going to mix them in. I said earlier I want the Browns to trade Jedrick Wills. He was our first round pick a couple of years ago. I think it was a terrible pick for us. Definitely should have drafted Tristan Wirfs over him. But I'd say we trade him, get a couple of our picks back, maybe some average player for our O-line. And so that's that. And then my second one, just to get it in, is that Deion Sanders in Colorado. Bryce and I were kind of mentioning this earlier.
Yep.
I think he's going to have a losing season. And he's
Yep.
going to see.
I completely agree. That was one of mine too.
I think that he's bringing a lot of people over from Jackson State that will not know how to play against competition.
Mm-hmm.
Possible.
That is definitely possible. All right, so just since I started to zone out for a second, so Evan, how many more bold predictions you got left after?
That's all I had.
Oh, that's all you have. What about you, Bryce?
I can cut it there. My last one was another college basketball one and a Pirates one.
Yeah, we're good on time. I'm just double checking how many more you got. So Bryce, you got 2 more?
Yeah.
All right, Alex, do you have 2 more or 3 more?
I have 2 more for sure, but I could think of a third one.
Okay, because I got 3 more. So I could say my next 2.
I'm gonna think. Okay. I can think of like a couple more if you need me to, Mike.
Okay, so my number 3 is I think this is the NBA. I think the Pelicans win the West. I think they're gonna win the West. I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna do it. So that's
interesting.
Mine.
All right, number 3. Bryce just talked about him in his last bold prediction. I think Quinn Ewers is a Heisman finalist next year.
Okay. All right, Bryce.
I'm going to stray away from my college basketball one because too early in the season to tell who's going to make it. Pitt's my lock for that, though. That's my one lock. I think, just like college football, I think it's going to be a weird March Madness like it always is. I wouldn't be surprised if you see like a 3 or 4 seed win it all this year. But I'm going to go Heisman next year. I think you're going to see a bunch of hype around. I can't think of the kid's name. He's from Oklahoma. Sanders. Is it Sharif or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be a bust. And I think you're going to see I can't think of the guy's name right now. I know exactly where he goes to school. I can't think of his name, though. Shoot. And move on. I completely forget where I was going. I forget his name.
All right, I'll say my number 4, then you guys say, because I feel like for my last one, I think it's gonna be the last bold. So if you guys don't mind, my number 4, the Los Angeles Chargers win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Interesting.
I said bold, and that is bold.
All right, so I have 2 more. If you want me to say them both right now, I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
So number 4, I think the Pittsburgh Penguins get hot at the right time. They finish first in the Metro, and they win the Stanley Cup this year.
Let's go.
Number 5, I saved my bombshell number 5 for the last one. Brock Purdy will lead the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl, maybe not win, but he will lead them to the Super Bowl and will be the starting San Francisco 49ers quarterback for the 2022 season.
I was debating because I was thinking either the Brady one or Purdy is going to win out the starting job next year. But I ultimately went with the Brady one. But, that's good.
I think Purdy takes him to the bowl, maybe gets him close against Kansas City or Buffalo or whoever, and wins the starting job next year.
All right. Okay. All right, Bryce, you got your.
Out of the name from my last one, Jordan Travis from Florida State. I think he finishes top 3 in Heisman voting. He leads Florida State 11-2, something like that.
Mhm.
But my last one, absolute bombshell here. Not a chance in the world. Your Pittsburgh Pirates win 85 games next year.
Okay. I can't blame you. I cannot blame you because of my last one. The Pirates will get their heads out of their behinds and they will pay Brian Reynolds what he is freaking worth. That is my last prediction. So I cannot blame you for the 85 wins. What was that, Evan?
He's worth a trade.
Yeah, screw you. No, listen. Now, I don't think he's going to be gone because he's got 3 years of control. This is definitely out of left field, but I definitely think it is possible Reynolds is still a Pirate this season. Doesn't mean he's going to get paid, but I think he's going to stay for at least another year. So that's that. But
you could go on and on with these bold predictions. I mean, there's so many of them that I'm just sitting here thinking of right now. You could go on for hours.
We could do in the summertime when we do a special. We come to my house and in my patio here. We could do just bold prediction of what we see in the next few years. We could do that.
Yes.
Good.
So we could do that. So that's an idea. But all right, we are out of time. Connection issues and all. I think this was great.
It was.
But all right, Evan, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
me back on another time.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce, I believe we will have you back on in 2 weeks, I think, for our last Zoom show.
Whatever works. Just shoot me a text. I'm usually free.
Yeah, and so all right, we will see you guys next week.